So we just got our first trailer for the upcoming Disney Plus show called Ms. Marvel, which is all about none other than Kamala Khan herself, and today we're going to be taking a look at the trailer and talking about what I believe happens in it so far. Now before I begin, I'd like to say that we have reached 250 subscribers, so now I have more subscribers than I do brain cells, so thank you guys so much for that. Now just on the first viewing of the trailer, you can tell that this show is going to be aimed at a younger audience. From the teen drama sort of high school vibes you get, to the doodle sketches about love interests and everything in between.
It's Mephisto!
Wait, what? No, it's not Mephisto. How'd you even get in here? Get out.
No,
Go.
wait, hold on, yeah, I can prove it. Hold on, yeah.
Now, I typically don't favor these kind of young teen / preteen style shows, so I'm not immediately drawn to it like I was for like Moon Knight or Loki or some of the other shows. But that's why I said that this show is basically just Disney with a little hint of Marvel thrown in, because I really think it feels like a Disney Channel sort of production just aimed at that sort of age group. Physically, I'm 25, but mentally, I'm more like -2, so maybe it is catered towards me. However, I am fine with them reaching for a younger audience. Not everything has to be catered to me. The adults are getting Moon Knight, so the kids can have Ms. Marvel. Now, her powers have been changed from the comics to the live-action adaptation, and that has caused a little bit of an outrage from the Ms. Marvel fans, like all 10 of them. I'm just kidding, don't hate me. But in the comics, she can basically do what Mr. Fantastic does, right? She can grow and stretch her limbs, and she can even shapeshift to some degree. In the trailer, you can see she idolizes Captain Marvel. Well, in the comics, it's the same. But she doesn't see how someone that looks like her could be a hero, so she would actually change her appearance to look more like Captain Marvel, until she learned to not be ashamed of how she looked, and like Stan Lee said, anyone could be under the mask. That's some really good character development that kind of is thrown away to change her powers, but honestly I'm okay with it. She looks like she has a very similar power set to those of the Lantern Corps from DC and is able to construct things out of energy using her thoughts. Those constructs are ranging from platforms to walk on to a giant fist, which is a nod to her comic counterpart, and even slam the door on her parents like a typical teenager, which I actually never did as a teenager. The only thing I ever slammed was my brother's head into the wall for shooting me in the foot with an airsoft gun. Yeah, we're even. You can see her putting on these bracelets or bands onto her arm, and that's basically how she gains her powers going forward. Now, they aren't named yet, so we're not 100% sure what these are exactly, but they could either be the Nega Bands or maybe even the Quantum Bands. Now, the Nega Bands allow the wielder to manipulate different forms of energy, it allows them to fly, and even gives cosmic awareness, which might actually not happen because that might be too OP for Little Miss Marvel. But she did say they felt cosmic, so who knows. The Nega Bands are also a gateway into the negative zone, which is used a lot in Marvel Comics, mostly by Reed Richards to imprison some of the big baddies of Marvel, which could be also used in a way for the Fantastic Four to get their powers, maybe? I'm just jumping to conclusions here. Let's slow down a little bit. Now, the Quantum Bands are very similar, but they pull energy from the Quantum Zone and allows the wearer to control most energies as well. Now, I don't know if the Quantum Zone from the comics is being referenced as the Quantum Realm in the MCU, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Because a lot does change from the comics to the movies, right? So the Quantum Realm could be the source of power for the Quantum Bands, but we don't really know. That's like when Kevin Feige said that Captain Marvel was the strongest person the MCU has seen to date. Like in the comics, she's not even close to being top 10 from Earth. Like if you took Thor from the MCU and Captain Marvel from the MCU, you could put a good debate on which one would win. But Thor from the comics and Captain Marvel from the comics, yeah, Thor would clap her easy. Alright, we're getting off topic. What makes me think that the Quantum Bands are the most likely answer are because they're able to create quantum constructs in any shape and size that the wearer can visualize, which we see quite a lot of during the trailer, right? You also see her going into this realm after putting on the bracelet, so is this the negative zone or is this part of the quantum zone, which is part of the quantum realm? I don't really know. It definitely doesn't look like the quantum realm, it looks more like the ancestral plane from Black Panther almost, with like the purple hue. But okay, I do not care that they changed her powers like I said, because they still give a little nod to her powers from the comics and her character arc by talking about how the little brown girl is not typically your superhero look. So it seems like even though they changed her powers, the sort of character arc that she goes on is still going to be very similar. So I think they'll be fine there. And again, I don't mind that this is aimed at a younger audience. I will still watch it every week as it comes out because I'm a nerd and I will watch anything that has a Marvel stamp on it. The only thing I guess I'm not really understanding is why she's obsessed with Captain Marvel. Earth has seen so little of her that I don't know how much media coverage or even popularity she would have on Earth. Like, she was there during the 90s, during her film, and then again during Endgame, but that was only for a brief moment, and that's basically it. It's not impossible for her to be a huge fan of Captain Marvel, but it's highly unlikely that the world knows very much about Captain Marvel at all. But if the bracelets that she does wear that gives her powers are tied to some sort of Kree origin, then that would be an easy way to kind of segue into her meeting Captain Marvel. And also giving her the same sort of relationship with Captain Marvel that Hawkeye and Kate Bishop had in the Hawkeye show. But her actually meeting Captain Marvel probably won't take place until the movie of The Marvels comes out. This trailer kind of gives me the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World plus Spider-Man Homecoming sort of vibes, which isn't a bad thing unless you don't like those styles of movies. I do find it ironic that in the beginning of the trailer, we see the world how Kamala is imagining it, like one of her doodles, and then later in the trailer, you get to see anything that her imagination comes up with is actually constructed in front of her. Anyways, I will be keeping my ears and eyes open for what people figure out about the trailer, and I'll try to craft my own theories as well, of course. But let me know down below what your thoughts about the trailer are, and once again, thank you guys so much for the 250 subscribers. It really does mean a lot. Hit the sub to show some love, and give me a thumbs up if you're feeling it. Otherwise, have a marvelous day.